Welcome to Art of Officiating's weekly dozen comprising plays through October 11, 2025. I'm Mark Bradley. These videos are from Colorado Games, so I'll reference the Colorado 5-Person Mechanics Manual and Colorado Rules Interpretations and Modifications. Please consult your state's Mechanics Manual and Rules Interpretations if I say something that doesn't match what you do in your state. Sometimes we work a fairly straightforward game, and sometimes we work a game with multiple uncommon events. As we've mentioned in previous weekly dozen videos and ready for play articles, we need to be rules experts. Not every play is 3 yards in a cloud of dust. I'm going to share 5 consecutive videos from one game that illustrate the need to dig into the rules book. We can't rely on only the referee to know the rules because we need to properly adjudicate unusual events. With each of the next 5 videos, we'll first decide if an action is a foul, and second, determine penalty enforcement if a flag is warranted. This play was most likely designed to be a middle screen, as the offensive lineman immediately moved downfield at the snap. As soon as ineligible numbers advance beyond the expanded neutral zone, it is a foul if a forward pass crosses the neutral zone. It appears this play is designed for A7, but he moves beyond the neutral zone, so if this was not a broken play and A4 throws the ball to him, it would be a foul for ineligibles downfield. Less likely, it could have been designed to be a pitch to A5. It appears he is also looking for the ball. We'll never know. This is a broken play as A4 muffs the snap, which interrupts the timing of the action. Under duress, A4 throws the ball and it lands at the line of scrimmage. One defensible ruling on this play could be that forward progress was halted at the A39, ending the play. The white hat did not make that ruling. So let's talk about an illegal forward pass. First, if the ball is thrown into an area occupied by an eligible offensive receiver, it is not a foul. There are no eligible offensive receivers in the area. Second, Table 752 says it is legal for a player to conserve yardage by intentionally throwing an incomplete forward pass if the passer has possessed the ball beyond the lateral boundary of the free blocking zone as established at the snap. This caveat was not satisfied. Let's hypothetically say the passer had moved outside the lateral boundary of the free blocking zone before releasing the ball. Then the ball would have to reach the neutral zone to avoid a foul for an illegal forward pass. But we have ineligibles downfield, so in our hypothetical scenario, if the passer had been outside the lateral boundary of the free blocking zone, and if the ball had reached the neutral zone, the crew would flag Team A for ineligibles downfield. This play appeared to be doomed from the time the ball was muffed. The penalty for an illegal forward pass is 5 yards from the spot of the foul plus the loss of down. The ball will next be snapped from the A34 or A33, depending on where the referee marked the spot of the pass, with second down on the box. Notice how the box person changes the down to 2. The illegal forward pass happened on first down. If the crew is not paying attention, they may look at the box and see a 2, and with the loss of down foul, think that it's third down. So we need to make sure we brief our box people not to change the down until they are instructed. Notice how the linesman and referee immediately start to approach each other to discuss the pass. The referee can drop a beanbag at the spot of the pass, determine if there were eligible offensive receivers in the area, and then throw a late flag. He has already determined the passer had not moved outside the lateral boundary of the free blocking zone. Here's play 2 of 5 of the same game. I like the referee's width on this play, but he should be deeper, 12 to 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. This time, the roles are reversed, and the visiting team's quarterback is under duress. He is hit as he throws the ball. It appears that a Team B player does not touch the ball. If B62 had touched the ball, then all Team A players would be eligible to catch the forward pass. Rule 756B says all A players become eligible when B touches a legal forward pass. A52 catches the ball in flight. He hasn't studied the rules, so he thinks his reception is legal. And as we've observed, if B62 had touched the pass, his reception would be legal. We see a flag from the referee at the A20. Here are a few observations about mechanics. I don't see anyone give the stop the clock signal. We don't have audio with this clip, but I hope the referee gave a good tweet, 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 look at me whistle. The umpire must officiate to the end of the play. He needs to hustle to the nose of the ball and help players separate, not turn and start walking toward the referee. Notice the line judge backs up and lets the runner proceed. And then he drops a beanbag at the spot of forward progress. The linesman should mark forward progress, dead ball officiate, and then ensure the back judge or line judge takes over his forward progress spot before moving to speak with the referee. I've had players pick up a beanbag or a flag and hand it to me. I'd like to see the back judge in the video. We have players near the sideline, so we need another official to provide proximity. For penalty enforcement, the foul occurred during a loose ball play, which was the pass. Rule 1042B applies. As we've discussed in previous videos and articles, 1042B is not accurate as written. The caveat that says, which occurs behind the line of scrimmage, should not be part of this rule. It should say the basic spot is the previous spot for a foul which occurs during a loose ball play. The penalty will be enforced from the previous spot regardless of A52's location when he touches the pass. Rule 7513 penalty says the foul for illegal touching is 5 yards plus loss of down. The foul will be enforced from the A23, the previous spot, and it will be 4th down. Here's play 3 of 5. A4 throws a backward pass to A25. B6 contacts A25 while the ball is in flight. This cannot be pass interference. Rule 757 says pass interference restrictions only apply beyond the neutral zone and only if the legal forward pass crosses the neutral zone. Rule 923C says a defensive player shall not use his hands or arms to hook, lock, clamp, grasp, encircle, or hold in an effort to restrain an opponent other than the runner. This is a legal hit on A25 and it is not a foul. I guarantee coaches and fans will think this contact is a foul, but this is a legal hit. A hit above the shoulders, most likely helmet-to-helmet contact, would be a foul. Here's play 4 of 5 from the same game. 2 officials are positioned on each restraining line, so the crew is anticipating an onside kick. Let's review Rule 22410 before running the clip. A pop-up kick is a free kick in which the kicker drives the ball immediately into the ground, and the ball strikes the ground once and goes into the air in the manner of a ball kicked directly off the tee. This kick is driven into the ground off the tee, but it doesn't go into the air in the manner of a ball kicked directly off the tee. It never gets above head level before taking a high second bounce. This is a perfectly executed and legal onside kick. We next must evaluate this contact on a Team R player. Rule 937 says no member of the kicking team shall initiate contact to an opponent on a free kick until the legal kick has traveled 10 yards and the kicking team is eligible to recover a free kick ball. The kick has touched the ground and has traveled 10 yards, so Team K is eligible to recover the kick. Only illegal personal contact, such as illegal helmet contact, should be flagged on this play. Forcible contact against a Team R player is not a foul. The home team recovered the kick, so after dead ball officiating, the line judge or umpire should work to get a clean ball onto the field. It helps to brief the ball runner to position him or herself near the umpire for the free kick. The ball runner can then hand the ball directly to the umpire when the ball is dead instead of handing it to the wing to relay to the umpire. Here's the final clip from the game. As we observed during the third clip, pass interference restrictions only apply beyond the neutral zone and only if the legal forward pass crosses the neutral zone. Rule 758 adds pass interference restrictions on a legal forward pass begin for Team A with the snap. Rule 7510 says it is forward pass interference if any player of A or B who is beyond the neutral zone interferes with an eligible opponent's opportunity to move toward, catch, or bat the pass. A3 and A13 cannot block B2 and B3 beyond the neutral zone before the ball is caught beyond the neutral zone. This should be flagged for offensive pass interference. If flagged, this would be a foul during a loose ball play. Penalty enforcement would be 15 yards from the previous spot with a replay of fourth down. Let's review a couple of clips that illustrate forward progress spots. Rule 215.1 says forward progress is the end of advancement of the ball toward the opponent's goal in a runner's possession. We need to determine the yard line where the runner's forward progress was involuntarily halted. The runner is contacted at the B46. The line judge marks forward progress at the B48. The quarterback is contacted at the A49 and is downed at the A45. The linesman squares off at the A47, but he doesn't try to communicate with the crew. The referee points to the A45. When a runner is contacted and shoved backward, always think, where is that runner's progress involuntarily halted? Not where the runner hit the ground or rolled to a stop. When the quarterback is hit down behind the line of scrimmage, he is often driven backward. The referee should keep this in mind and spot the ball where the quarterback was first contacted. Also, if the opposite wing has a forward progress spot and the covering official incorrectly marks forward progress, the opposite wing should get on the radio or yell across the field, "Forward progress here." If the covering official is unsure, he should take a look across the field to see if his partner has a better spot. He can then say to the umpire, "Take his spot, not mine." Here's another forward progress clip. Was the runner's forward progress involuntarily halted at the A37 before the ball came out? This is a tough call for the linesman. The Colorado Mechanics Manual states, when in question, the runner was down and did not fumble the ball. I'd prefer to rule that the runner's forward progress was halted before the ball came loose. From the video, it appears the linesman pauses at the A37 and then walks back to the spot of recovery. He may be unsure about what just happened. It's okay to kill the play at any time, including if Team B picks up the ball and begins to run. You may have heard the saying, no cheap turnovers or no cheap touchdowns. When in question, rule the runner's forward progress was stopped at the A37. Before I run this clip, please stick with me as I read a few rules regarding the snapper. Rule 214.2 says a scrimmage kick formation is one in which no player is in position to receive a hand-to-hand snap from between the snapper's legs, and at the snap, a player is in position with the knee on the ground, 7 yards or more behind the line of scrimmage, in position to be the holder and receive the long snap, and with another player 3 yards or less behind that player in position to attempt a place kick. So this is a legal scrimmage kick formation. Rule 232.14 says the snapper remains a snapper until he has had a reasonable opportunity to regain his balance and protect himself, or until he blocks or moves to otherwise participate in the play. Rule 946 says a defensive player shall not charge directly into the snapper when the offensive team is in a scrimmage kick formation. In your judgment, does the defensive player charge directly into the snapper? It is clear he does not. The snapper gets bowled over, but 1, the defender did not charge directly into the snapper, and 2, the defender was blocked into the snapper. We can't let the very end of the play, the fact that the snapper was knocked over, influence our decision. I wonder if the umpire knew the rules book wording about charging directly into the snapper. I wonder if he thought it was a foul if the defender simply contacted the snapper. As we've mentioned multiple times, and you'll hear it again in a later clip, we need to officiate to the end of the play. We still have mixed colors, so the umpire cannot turn away from the players to report his flag. Also, we need a stop the clock signal. Here's another try with multiple rules and mechanics components. Team A is lined up in a non-typical formation. This is not a swinging gate formation, as there is no holder and kicker. The wings are correctly on the line of scrimmage, but the umpire should not be under an upright. He should only retreat under the upright if Team A shifts into a scrimmage kick formation. He should be at his normal position 4 to 7 yards from the line of scrimmage. The Colorado Mechanics Manual says the referee should adjust his position when the game situation dictates a change. In this case, the referee positions himself in the most advantageous position to view his pre-snap key and respond to player movement. This is not a scrimmage kick formation, so Team A is not afforded a numbering exception. There must be at least 5 players on the line of scrimmage numbered 50 to 79. That is satisfied in this formation. The snapper has an eligible number, but he is ineligible by position as he is not at the end of the line of scrimmage. The linemen are not in the free blocking zone, so they cannot block below the waist, and their opponents may not block below the waist. Rule 242 says the snap movement must be a quick and continuous backward motion of the ball. So let's evaluate the snap. Was it a quick and continuous backward motion, or does the snapper lift the ball and then pass the ball backward in two motions? It appears this is two motions, so this should be flagged as a snap infraction. This is why the umpire should not be 15 yards away from the ball. He should be 4 to 7 yards away and laser focused on the snap motion. As we mentioned earlier, it is forward pass interference if any player of B interferes with an eligible opponent's opportunity to move toward, catch, or bat the pass. The rules book does not clearly state what constitutes interfering with the opponent. These pass interference categories are not expressly in the rules book, but they provide clarity when describing why the official should throw a flag or elect to pass on a foul. Those categories are contact not playing the ball, playing through the receiver, cut off, armbar, hook and turn, and grab and restrict. Let's look at two matchups that were flagged for defensive pass interference. Do you see any of the pass interference indicators, such as early contact, playing through the receiver, grabbing the arm, restricting movement, or not playing the ball? In my opinion, unless there's illegal personal contact, we need to pass on bang-bang plays where the defender and the ball arrive almost simultaneously. Pass interference needs to scream. Unless it's clear and obvious, keep the flag in your pocket. We don't often discuss the back judge position, so let's look at a few clips that highlight back judge movement near the goal line. The ball is snapped from the B15, so the back judge is positioned halfway between the goal line and the end line, and he must be prepared to rule on both money lines. The formation is balanced, so the back judge's passing play initial responsibility is A14. This one's tricky. A14 runs close to the end line while A5 settles near the goal line. It's easy to look at the outcome and say, the back judge should have moved to the goal line, but that's not entirely fair. The quarterback had two legitimate targets, one at the goal line and one near the end line. If he had thrown the ball to the back of the end zone instead, we could just as easily say the back judge should have backed up to the end line. That's the reality and the limitation of working with only 5 officials. In this play, the receiver at the goal line catches the pass while on his knees. Where is the ball when it becomes dead by rule? In this case, the back judge had to make his best judgment and ruled touchdown. The ball is snapped at the B12, so the back judge starts halfway between the goal line and the end line. Because this is a running play, he doesn't have to choose between the two lines, but he does need to immediately advance to the goal line while keeping his eyes on the blocks ahead of the runner. He gets to the goal line before the ball arrives, and now he's in a perfect position to make a decision regarding the ball's location when it comes loose. He's earned the right to confidently rule on a touchdown or a fumble. When players or coaches question the ruling, proper positioning is paramount. The back judge was exactly where he needed to be, and that added to his credibility. We'll address 3 of the officiating positions in this final clip. Let's start with the umpire's flag. The left tackle and right end lock up, and both have a handful of jersey. B52 pulls first and drags A74 to the turf. A74 then pulls B52 to the ground, and the umpire throws a flag. It appears the holding was mutual and neither side gained an advantage. So maybe we pass on throwing a flag. However, one might argue that we witnessed 2 takedowns and that we need to flag that action. That's a valid point. The umpire reported only a hold on A74. I think he may not have observed the first pull to the ground by B52. Now let's talk about the line judge's eye discipline, movement, and ruling. As soon as A7 catches the ball, the line judge must shift his focus to the block ahead of the runner. He continues to look at A7 while he is in the open with no defender nearby. There is no need to look at A7. Unless he slips on a banana peel, he is in no danger. Even though the runner is now the line judge's responsibility, he must look at the block ahead. A7 loses the ball at the B38 and a scramble ensues. Good job by the line judge to toss a beanbag. Anytime the ball is loose near the sideline, the covering official must determine if any player touching the ball is also touching the sideline. If that happens, the ball is immediately dead. Now let's discuss the back judge. The back judge correctly closes down on the players, but he is looking at the pile instead of at the players near and moving to the pile. A65 delivers a block in the back, which is missed. Keep those wide eyes and look for colors going against the flow and colors going faster than everyone else, especially behind a pile at the sideline. I sound like a broken record, but we need to officiate to the end of the play before thinking about reporting a flag to the referee. Instead of walking, the umpire should be hustling to the pile to help the players separate. He turns his head to the referee while players from each team are in close proximity and while the line judge is digging in the pile. That's your weekly dozen for games through October 11, 2025. Thanks for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to the Weekly Dozen. And please invite other officials to do the same. I also invite you to visit artofofficiating.com to view more high school football officiating content.